Decepticons, rise up!
I broke space and time to watch Transformers 1 before the EU release. Need more be said? We all know where that came from, but this movie slapped, and that's what I came from the future to tell you. You guys need to support this movie no matter the cost. This trilogy cannot get fumbled in the bag just because of what dog shit level marketing Paramount and Hasbro cooked out for this. It's like they set this movie out to die. We cannot let this happen, bro. So this is going to be my general thoughts on the movie after watching it. Obviously, full spoilers. I'm sure you've seen the title, whatever. I made a video without spoilers. This is going to contain full spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, do not watch this, all right? With that being said, pacing, visuals, graphics, all that. Graphics, basically the same as my last review. Graphics are solid. People nitpicking about like, oh, it's a tad bit blurry, or like there are like limbs that squash and stretch. Bro, get out of here. Bro, all the shit you've been seeing on Twitter, just what garbage level takes. It's just like rage bait, engagement bait level like stuff, I swear to God. Like there's no actual valid criticism. Now, with that being said, I do have slight criticism. Now, this is being extremely nitpicky, but I wanted to bring it up anyway. The pacing for me was like extremely slow at the beginning and seemed to like speed up extremely fast at the end. I don't know if that was just me, but that's what it felt like to me. I felt like there was so much exposition and build up between like D16 and Orion Pax. And then like, I'd say probably after they went to go see Alpha Trion and they got their cogs, right? And obviously, oh bro, Sentinel, you rat. Absolute, oh, I watched the movie and I swear to God, the first thing I said when I saw Sentinel, when we like first saw him, was, oh, that's just the typical average Andy politician, like a little scuzzbag. Little did I know he would end up being like some torture backstabbing rat, bro. Oh my, that's foul. That, how this is a kid's movie when he's straight up torturing like D16 and like the backstabbing betrayal and the straight up execution of Alpha Trion, bro. How was that not in a trailer or some allude to it? Well, why were the trailers so garbage in representing what this was meant to be? When you had that, like, it's not that I didn't expect something like that, but from watching the trailers and like, you would not have expected this to happen, not in like a million years. But anyway, to go back to the pacing, it's like, yeah, that's kind of what I thought on the pacing. It started off a bit slow, kind of sped up towards the end. But regarding that, like graphics, again, graphics solid. All the criticisms you see of graphics, like, bro, budget was 70 million. If they gave the 200 mil budget of Rise of the Beast to it, it would have slapped. Now, to go back to that exposition and pacing, that issue is kind of a moot point because realistically, you can boil it down to budget. They just didn't have the budget for it, because if you're on about stuff like, oh, D16, where's the gladiatorial pits? That was cool. What about that? Why is that not in the movie? That was cut. That's what they had planned. Go look up the directors and what they're saying. Like, they literally wanted to do D16 in like in the pits, like the fight pit arenas. They literally wanted to do that, right? And if you've seen the concept art, if you haven't, on screen, or like go look at it, there was concept art of literally the aerial bots. The aerial bots inside of where all the primes has got betrayed by little rat Sentinel, right? There's concept art of literally like Skyfire or Jetfire, whatever EUNA name you want to call him. He's in there. That's super cool, bro. And now maybe we might get scenes. I'm hoping we get scenes of that, because apparently there are bonus scenes on like the DVDs. So maybe we're going to get some juicy stuff out of that. Maybe there's like an aerial bot scene. That's super cool. Now, to touch on like continuity, like I guess like side tangent, we're not sure where this continuity takes place. As far as I'm aware, these movies are kind of meant to be like a squint and it falls into any continuity. But at the same time, I've been seeing like these, I'm just dumbasses on Twitter or whatever saying, oh, this is connected to Bayverse. This is connected to Prime, Cyberverse, G1. That doesn't make any sense. What are you yapping? What? Did you not see Sentinel get absolutely destroyed by Megatron? What? Are you like blind? How could you possibly have Sentinel in the Bayverse movies die to Optimus and go to Earth when he's dead? I I can't even. Am I the only one who's been like seeing this like dumbass level like connectivity like people are trying to cope out with? It doesn't make any sense. And then like G1, I don't understand how this connects to G1 either. Now, if the deleted scenes with the aerial bots, perhaps, but at the same time, I swear to God, the G1 continuity does not line up with it either. Maybe that's just me. Like, there's a difference between having the aerial bots there in the deleted scene or concept art and having that be like a homage, but I still don't think it lines up continuity-wise. I'd have to double check it. I don't know off the top of my head. Comment below if you know, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be like some inconsistencies where it doesn't. Then again, G1 has a lot of continuity issues, but that's besides the point. Anyway, I think it's its own continuity, and I think that's what they're going to be moving forward because it gives them the freedom to like progress next 2 movies in the trilogy. If not if we get them, we need to get them at this point. Support the movie however you need to get this done. Like, I swear to God, like, this is not a suggestion. This is a command, alright? This needs to get done. We cannot have like the G.I. Joe movie and Rise of the Mid-Pack continue to get movies and like budget when the GOAT of all movies, like everything we've been wanting to watch, has just come out with TF1. Now, now whether or not this is the best movie all time, that's up to interpretation. I have my own thoughts of that. I'll leave that from this video. I'll probably cover that another time. But yeah, like, and then you got, bro, did anyone see the High Guard? That is one of my other, like, probably my core issue, only because of Starscream. The High Guard, super cool, man. Super, super, super cool. The fact that they ended up with Megatron makes so much sense. Not only because obviously that follows like past continuities and stuff, and that's like, you know, pretty set standard, but it's like they're like expat military High Guard that got like completely exiled because of Sentinel being an absolute rat and betraying like all of the 13 primes, and obviously the Royal Guard included, which the Royal Guard were obviously for 13th primes, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it makes so much sense because obviously they've been exiled for so long and they're military based, right? It makes so much sense that they would want like proper like action and like they again, like they sympathize so much with Megatron and his like design, his viewpoint, where like honestly, if you watch the movie, tell me if I'm wrong with this, but I sympathize and I relate more to Megatron than I do Prime. Again, it makes sense. It's not like it's like subverted or anything. It's not like it's like under the skin or anything. It's literally like how Alita said it in the movie. He's just like blindly optimistic. It's just like maybe it's because I'm older. It is not something like particularly relatable, and like you can see Megatron's like anger when he gets betrayed by Sentinel. Like that is pure, that is raw, that is so relatable. It makes so much sense. And then you pair that with like the High Guard, who are military like based, power based. Of course they're going to want to get revenge. Of course they're going to want to do stuff to take back. And especially with how at the end of the movie Prime banishes them all. Oh my God, their resolve is going to be like at the end of the movie, the post-credit scene. I'm not sure many of you guys seen it, where the Decepticons rise up, right? And that's how that faction is born. It makes so much sense. It's so good. That is, God, it's like peak cinema, I swear to God. Because it makes so much sense, right, to have them do that, because their resolve is basically galvanized by Prime banishing them once again, because they feel like they've now been wronged twice over. They were like fucked over with Sentinel Prime being an absolute little rat, right? And like just completely dumpstering them and then exiling them. And then Prime comes like who is Prime to them? Like obviously Prime leads them in to like take out Sentinel, but then like he just wants to like arrest Sentinel's an absolute rat that completely just like he killed and executed the 13. He executed Alpha. How could Prime not want to like rip his head off? I swear to God. Again, like it fits with Alita's exposition of saying like he's just like stupidly optimistic and like blindly optimistic at that point, right? So again, it's fitted. It's like literally told to us through Alita's exposition, right? But the one nick I have with the High Guard, which I guess this entire point was based off, is literally like Starscream and Megatron. That fight, oh my God, dude! When Starscream came on and he was like commander and chief of like the High Guard with so much respect. That was super, super cool. But then in all of 20 seconds, I swear to God, it just turns and Megatron just like dumpsters him on the floor. And then for some like Starscream is like begging for more, like hurt, like he wants him to like choke the life out of him. That's that's something else, boys. A little bit weird for a kid's show, but sure, if that's how they want to go. Like, what's that, like M-rated or something? No, it's not M. Is it like T-rated for a teen or something? The movie? That's a little bit weird, champ. But besides the point, that felt too fast for me. I'm gonna be honest. That's the one thing, if I had to pin, that I didn't like, was how I would have loved to see like the extension of Starscream versus Megatron butting heads, as like confident like as Starscream was as the leaders of like the Seekers and like the High Guard, because he has Shockwave and Soundwave under him, but it's like he just buckles within 20 seconds. It's really disappointing to see that, and like, I'm not hating the movie. That one point just really gets me, because like, Starscream is such a good character, especially that portion of his character arc we never get to see explored, right? Even in like the games like War for Cybertron, you don't get to see much of it, because Megatron basically, I guess spoiler warning for the game, or I don't know, like basically Megatron goes up to his Dark Energon like factory like space station, and basically within the course of a chapter just like takes control of Dark Energon, and Starscream immediately flips with like no confrontation at all. Like it's not even a battle. He just witnesses Megatron take Dark Energon, just like panders out. As I really wanted to see Starscream, especially how they introduced him, he was so confident, leader of like this exiled group, right? And they'd been surviving out there for so long. It's not like the forces were in disarray. Like they were all looking pretty good. They'd been hiding from Sentinel and his like Viacon like goons, right? And the Quintessons out there for how long? What was it, like 50 cycles? That's a long time, right? That's obviously Shockwave and Soundwave definitely help with like reconnaissance and keeping like tactics wise to advise Starscream. But you can't deny that Starscream's still leading it. Like this is not the dumb level Starscream we see out of some of the like shows where he's just like stripped back as a character. That's what I mean with like where he started off as that, and then with all of 20 seconds, it's just gone. It's just it pisses me off. It's just super annoying. Again, I know this is probably due to budgetary constraints, just like the like fight pit with Megatron. I'm sure they wanted to extend that out, and maybe in the following like TF2 and TF3 movies, we'll get more of the like intricate dynamic and portrayals from Starscream moving forward. It's just, maybe it's because Starscream is one of my like more favored characters that I like to see, because he doesn't get like some of the he has some good stuff around like TF media. It's just I was really hoping to see more of him. I think it just hurts more to me because he got introduced so strong, such a strong introduction, and then such a quick turnaround. It's just like I don't know. Again, I'm probably focusing too much on his character, but again, he's like a key mainstay character, like not only within like the story but also the Decepticon forces. Again, I know the movie was meant to focus purely on like D16 and Orion, Megatron, Optimuses, right? And then like the initial, I know that's what it's focusing on. So I'll leave it at that. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think of that. That's my piece on it. I won't complain too much. Now, Alita 1. Oh my, I hope to God, I don't like touching politics on this server. Oh, not server. Oh God, I'm cooked. On this channel. But like, bro, the wokies better not like grab hold of like Alita and be like, oh, look, oh, strong female lead. Because guaranteed some like dumbass is going to do that on Twitter and like completely ruin the public perception of Alita. Because like, she's actually done really well. Super strong, super confident, really aggro. Like maybe some people say like too much to a degree. I thought it was really good. I'm not simping or nothing, okay? But like, I thought that was really sick. Mostly off the basis of maybe if you watch the like start of it and like she's just like that, like she's kind of just bitchy and you don't get it. But then when you see how like her like the contradiction, the yin and yang to her and Arachnid, oh, that makes so much more sense. It's so good. Honestly, I kind of hoped for more of an extended cut, like a fight scene. I hope that comes out in deleted scenes. Again, this is probably just due to budget constraints. Again, literally every like possible nitpick criticism I have comes down to like the fact that it didn't have budget. If it had the 200 million of Rise of the Beast, I swear to God, it would have been absolute peakest cinema, if it's not already. But like, could you have like, obviously we got scenes regarding like Arachnid or Black Arachnia and Alita, but like, those two with a proper like extended fight scene and dialogue, especially with how it ends of her obviously scanning. I mean, obviously you guys have seen the movie. Like, she scans out memory of like Sentinel Prime from Black Arachnid to show to all of the miners. That the amount of minor jokes coming out of that is wild, bro, by the way. Also, 2024 we are still in, and the minor joke could not have picked a better year for that. The amount, I don't want to touch that like wide stay of drama. I mean, you guys know what I'm on about, but like that was funny nonetheless. But I thought her character was really good. And she kind of grows later on. The dialogue between her and Shockwave and Soundwave after like Megatron and B get kidnapped by Sentinel and his goons. And then obviously like the rest of the High Guard, obviously Soundwave and Shockwave are like, they don't really want to help like Orion. They're like, Orion, like, okay, buddy. Like, and then Alita just set Shockwave in his place, bro. Bro did not want to touch that with like a 10-foot pole. He knew, bro. His logical senses peaked. He was like, I don't want none of this. That was super funny to me. Anyway, to move that on, it's like, oh my, like, again, like, every like nitpick I have is basically discounted to budget, but then there's just like so many of the characters like super peak at this point, like where Sentinel's representation is just like wild. Like, it's just so good. Honestly, he's probably like the best written character inside of this, to be honest. Like, he, like, from the voice acting to like the dialogue, his like portrayal is like, you really don't like him. Like, maybe it makes it so, as I was saying before, like you sympathize with Megatron more, or D16. His like Sentinel's portrayal is like such a rat, bro, such a rat, and like not just like a basic rat, like just a despicable, downright like evil rat. Like, he's such a self-absorbed, like cowardice. Oh, like, oh, dude, like he's literally like for anyone who's older, he's like literally just what like people refer to as politicians. Like, you guys know what I'm on about, like those type of people, like that, all for themselves. He embodies it so well, and it's just like, oh, again, with how good his character is in this, it makes it like, it makes Megatron's, or I guess D16's arc so much better because of the feed off it has. Obviously, with the relation of that's how he becomes Megatron, he's so pissed at like Sentinel, which is like fair. It's like you can't help but relate to it. And obviously, again, like maybe this is like a catch-22. It makes like Orion's a bit less engaging because like he's just way too optimistic. Maybe younger fans might like latch on to Optimus and like that side more because of the optimism, right? As you get older, you kind of get more like jaded. This is kind of like the equivalent of like people liking Goku and watching Dragon Ball like as they were younger, and then they more like lean towards someone like Vegeta as they get older. Maybe it's that kind of like parallel for anyone who watches Dragon Ball, I guess. It's just like, oh my. Again, like, we need to get more movies of this. I literally am like fathoming like there's no way they see the fan reception for this and like just completely can out the rest. There's no way, bro. Look how many people are like just absolutely like moaning with like disregard to like the G.I. Joe collab movie. Like, nobody asked for this, man. Like, nobody asked for that. And then TF1 is like, this is everyone wanted. I still can't believe the marketing, bro. I can't, bro. What on earth were they doing with the marketing? Just why? Why was it as bad as it was to what peak level like cinema this is? I can't even. I was literally smiling the entire way through the movie. I was just like, oh, look at all the little Easter eggs. Oh, look, that's Ironhide. That's Prowl. That's Cosmos. That's like, oh, bro. Oh my god, did you see in the Velocitron race? Did you see where like Blur came? Bro, there's criminal, bro. Blur is like 350 something. He's like all the way down on like the bottom end of like the row. Blur like not winning it. What was it? Chromia? Apparently, what was it? I think Silverbolt was meant to win, but then they changed it at the last minute to Chromia. What? Why? Why was it not Blur? That's criminal, bruh. You're telling me like the de facto like Velocitronian Speed Cup guy did not win like the Icon race? He came like 300 and something. That's foul, bruh. oh my, if there's one thing you want to like be negative about the movie, sure, that's it. I ain't gonna complain with you on that. That's foul that he got done dirty like that. Like, you can say, oh, Silverbolt got done dirty or whatever, he was meant to win, but Blur getting screwed, nah, that's foul, bro. That's there's no excuse for that. That's just criminal. But I mean, like I liked the exposition at the beginning of the movie. Like, it was kind of a slow build up, but at the same time, necessary for what it's setting out to be as a trilogy, right? If you frame this as a trilogy, it makes a lot more sense with like how like maybe progressively slow it was at the beginning and a lot of the exposition, right? It still felt kind of fast overall, to be honest. I think the movie could have easily been 2 hours long, and I think it would have helped, especially with some more scene and world building. But that's besides the point. Maybe one day we'll get an extended version. Who knows? Maybe the deleted scenes will answer these questions. We have yet to see those as of recording. Again, like the concept art, that's super cool with like the aerial bots and stuff like that. Yeah. I know this is like mostly talking about the movie, but like the cut content is like the most interesting part at this point after seeing this movie. I'm like, I want to know what else got cut. I want to know what else could have been because of how good the movie is straight. B is probably, I don't want to say a weak point. I don't want to say a weak point because that's kind of mean to say. He's basically the comic relief of this movie. I think we can all agree he's comic relief. There was a couple of like XD lines, some cringe for sure, 100%. But I'm fine with him being comic relief, especially considering like Alita is quite serious, D16 quite serious, Orion a mix, his naivety, right? But again, the focus was on his naivety and Megatron's more relatable anger. And then obviously Alita coming along from the ride. I still Alita getting demoted and then getting stuck in the transport and just like fuming. She's just super mad, just wants to report them. That's kind of funny. Honestly, like, she was really well done, to be honest. I know some people might think maybe like too aggressive or something, but nah, I think it was especially good. And it goes well into her obviously being like, depending on how this follows the continuity, obviously people remember like Alita who stayed behind in G1 to fight off in like a merry band of small female like resistance fighters on Cybertron while it was taken over with the Decepticons as the planet obviously died off and they went off to Earth. Right? It makes so much sense that her aggression now is her as like, oh god, I don't want to say this. Alita as a minor. Oh, don't clip it, Chad. Don't clip it. Obviously, her being like a minor and then being like this super aggressive type, like it's not like a bitchy. It's not like she's annoying, right? She's just like really confident, really like aggro boss. It's really appealing, I guess, depending on your type. Oh god, we're not getting into this, chat. We're not getting into this. All right, leave your own weird thoughts to yourself. Okay, I don't want to hear it. But it's like that makes so much sense going into the war and how she is portrayed as being like a super strong female lead, not being like the Mary Sue level garbage we see out of like how they just force female characters. I don't want to get into another political crap on this channel. I don't care, but you guys know what I mean. Her character is actually well written and it makes sense, especially if you're pulling from other lore points and other continuities. This makes sense. Again, I hope the political crowd don't ruin this character in the eyes of the public because it's not what it's meant to be, how they could misconstrue it. It makes a lot of sense coming from continuity and lore background because that's what her archetype is meant to be. And it still follows a lot of the modern continuity representation she gets today. Because obviously her character wasn't exactly fleshed out in G1, but over the course of like decades at this point, her character's become a mainstay to the point where now, I'm sure a lot of you guys seen, she's like a mainstay in like all Transformers collabs. She's like a main core stay in like the Transformers branding now, right? No longer is it like RC is the go-to female lead. It's Alita, which I'm all for, to be honest. I mean, I like all characters the same, to be honest, but like, she definitely fits, especially with Arachnid. Like Arachnid again is super strong, super like evil, like that like dynamic. Again, that's why, oh god, an extended scene of that, like with like dialogue, something deeper. Honestly, this would have made like for a great like show series to where they could like I don't know whether or not they do it at this point, but like they need to. It would be so good to have something fleshed out, like equivalent to Star Wars The Clone Wars, where we could see a lot of these other like quote unquote side characters within like the main cast story fleshed out. Because that's all I could think of when I saw the background characters like Ironhide, Prowl, Jazz, Cliffjumper, Sideswipe, all of that. I'm like, bro, could you imagine like we just get like a couple of episodes here where we get to see more in-depth versions of those characters as they were like minors. Oh god, you know what I mean? Like their personality types as they grow throughout their beginnings, as they get their T-Cogs back, and then going into the war. Like that has never been explored as far as I know outside of like IDW comics or like Dreamwave, like that progression of like their character building. Because like you can see in D16 and Orion, you can see their core crux of their characters where they like pull their influence from as they transform into Optimus Prime and Megatron, right? Lot of sense there to where you can pin in those core traits. Like again, Optimus's like naivety, how he's like super positive all the time. That comes from when he was Orion Paxton. You could see that in the movie very clearly. It was very obvious. Megatron's anger and betrayal, right? And then with the adoption of like him like really liking Megatronus, that you could see. That's one thing I liked about the movie so much. You could see, even if it was kind of maybe obvious or like maybe it wasn't as subverted or deep, or it was good. All right, it was good. Don't complain about it. It was good. Okay, oh, could be better. Yeah, everything could be better. Okay, but like it was good. You could see it was very easy to follow, and you could see the outcome at the end. You could see where he was pulling from. Again, that shows because Megatron doesn't seem like an ass. He's not like Sentinel, even though Prime, I guess like, yeah, like Prime will basically say, oh, you were just like Sentinel, you betrayed Cybertron. What? Bruh, I'm sorry. Like, I'm with Megatron on this one, bruh. He did not betray Sentinel was a rat who needed to have his head taken clean off. The fact that like Prime was just like that annoying level naivety. It's just like, it's like that person who's like overtly positive. It's like, stop, bro. Stop. You should not be positive in a time like this. Like he literally enslaved their entire race, gave off their energon supplies and worked them till their gears fell off and stole their T-Cogs and killed and executed the 13 primes. Like he's a rat among rats. It's not just like he's like a little stain on your boot. No, he's like an actual virus that needs to like get stomped out. Right, while he was living lavish, right, and letting their conquerors take over. Like, bruh, nah. 110% with Megatron. Decepticons forever. Rise up. I mean, need more be said. I think the Cybertronian, like, setting, this time period, super dope. I hope we see the continuation of TF2 and TF3. We need to see Great War, we need to see Exodus, or however they want to pin out the rest of this like continuity, whether it be a full trilogy or extended plus, whether they branch off to a show, which I think would be peak, right? That's kind of all that needs to be said. I mean, I think everyone agrees at this point. The ratings are unanimous. This movie was peak. Any of the problems you could levy wise basically come down to budgetary constraints at this point. If you go read what the directors are saying, you go see some of the concept art, God knows what comes out of like the DVD bonus stuff. Need more be said. I mean, that's kind of my piece. Maybe I'll make a follow-up if I come and think of things that I haven't touched on this, but everything from the Easter eggs, the design, I mean, okay, one lasting point, Chris Hemsworth, I don't mind him as a voice actor, but bro, he really just sounds like Thor. Maybe that's just me. I can't get it out of my head, but like, it's not. And again, right at the end, kind of a nitpick, when he turned into Prime, would it have not been goated to have Peter Cullen voice Prime right at the end? That would have really like set everyone off at the end. Because now we're probably expecting Prime to be played by Chris Hemsworth moving forward. I know Chris Hemsworth, oh, he's a big actor, yeah, everyone likes him, but it's like, maybe it's just me, bro. All I can hear is Thor out of him. It's like I don't want to show him and say he didn't try. I could tell he was trying in this voice actor role. He really put some like sentiment into it, but it really just sounded like Thor. It did not sound like I don't want to say it didn't sound like Prime, because obviously for the majority of the movie, he's not Prime. But at the same time, it sounds too much like Thor. It really does. Like some of the time, like at the beginning of the movie, maybe sure, but as it progressed, I could only hear Thor. I swear to God. Maybe that's just me. Again, that's my point. That's me then. So again, you guys let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments. Let me know on Twitter. I'm posting all about it there. And again, to end this off, pretty much, watch the movie, support it, buy merchandise. If you can afford it, support the movie. And if you can't monetary wise, just talk about it, because that is good enough. That is what everyone needs to do at the very least, is talk about it. Like, if whether you pirate the movie or whatever, like, it doesn't matter. Just support the movie vocally. Do your part, because we cannot let this fumble, bro. Don't let Paramount and Hasbro like axe this own thing for whatever narcissistic reason they did it. We need to see this, bro. Screw the G.I. Joe multiverse continuity out of Rise of the Beast garbage. I don't care, right? I want this. This is what we actually want. I think I can say that as like a fandom inclusive. This is what we've been wanting. This is what we wanted. This is what we got. We need more. We need bigger budget. We need more. We need guaranteed, like, locked in, guaranteed we're getting this trilogy. We need like that retention. That's all I'm going to say on it. Again, yeah, need more be said. This shit slapped. Absolutely goated. I'm going to watch it on physical release. I'm going to buy the digital. And I'll see you guys again in the meantime. Peace.